Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. It's so nice to see you today. And around here I go by Camilla or Cam. I'll explain why in a minute, but since the anniversary of the closing of the popular MMO game called Pixie Hollow is coming up on the 19th of September, I wanted to reminisce, and what better way can I do that than spend it with you guys and the people who also cared about it. I'm going to give you fair warning. If you are triggered or find it cringy to hear people talk about things they care about, such as video games, in a very serious way, please leave now, because it's going to get kind of cringy. It's probably going to be comical in some ways and probably sad in others. But I want to give you fair warning because it's only right to do that by you guys. And there are plenty of other videos for you to watch, so just, if you feel like backing out, back out. But if you want to stay, you're very welcome to. I'd love to have you here, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm sorry the camera quality is so bad, the lighting in my room is horrible, and it's only going to be spotty because I have a really bad bulb right now, but I don't want to replace it. So I'm going to just leave it like this. But anyway, before I talk about the legacy of Pixie Hollow, I thought I would tell you a little bit about my history with Pixie Hollow and just all the time that I've fortunately gotten to spend thinking about it and playing the game and playing the remakes. It's been great. So my internet name is Camilla Daisy Blossom because that's the name that I came up with on the remake of Pixie Hollow called Fairy ABC, one of the earlier ones. There are newer ones called We the Pixies, but Fairy ABC was the OG one and it deserves respect. So anyway, I don't remember my name from the original game because unfortunately I was very young at the time when I played. I was between the ages of 6 and 7, or maybe a little bit older, maybe a little younger. I don't know. Time is kind of lost, but either way, I don't remember that. I remember really liking the name Rose, so it could have been that. But for right now, we're going to go with the fact that my nickname on here is Camilla Daisy Blossom, or Cam, whatever you feel like calling me. Sorry, I'm reading this from over here. But anyway, I wasn't a very good reader, so when the game shut down, I didn't know it was shutting down. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know anything at all was happening. And I didn't know till at least a year later. The day it was announced about closing, though I don't have memories of it, I remember hearing about it from other people who had played. And it was really quite sad and beautiful all at the same time. I guess you could call it that. It was bittersweet. And people describe just even the members, people that had a lot of stuff in the game. A lot of in-game currency and clothes, all the fun stuff that everyone dreamed of having in the game. Everyone, a lot of people at least, put on their arrival day clothes and went to Dewdrop Vale, one of the first places that you see in Pixie Hollow. And they just cried with their friends because it was such a huge loss to them. And that, I think, really sums up the human experience because, no matter what, no matter what things you have as you get older or what you leave with, they wanted to leave how they came. And they wanted to be surrounded by their friends and things. They had already said goodbye to their houses and to their pets. They wanted to be with their friends and spend those last few moments with them. And that, I think, really stands out about Pixie Hollow. I've seen a lot of endings to games, but never one so sad and beautiful and meaningful. We had integrity. We had loyalty to each other, and I think that is one of the things that I truly miss about Pixie Hollow. I don't know that I necessarily miss the game itself, but more the community surrounding it. We were a great community. But anyway, for the longest time, I held out a lot of hope that it would return. In some ways, I still hold out hope that it will return. You know, the remakes are great. They're works of art and works of talent and just expressions of love for this community and this game. But, excuse me for saying this, they'll never be the same. They're never going to replace Pixie Hollow. They're never going to replace the community behind it. And that's okay, because no matter how wonderful and alike they may be, Pixie Hollow was special. And, you know, those games are special too. They're not any one thing to make a game special. And so that's one of the things that I appreciate. But I would also... one moment. But I want to take a moment to show my appreciation for those games and for the community. Thank you for all the writers, the readers, the singers, the songwriters, the game developers, and artists that have done so much to preserve these memories. In a way, it almost looks like I'm looking at a moment in time, and it's taking me back to when we were all younger and so happy. And I want to say thank you to Fairy ABC for starting it all. And I want to say thank you to We the Pixies for giving us a chance to, you know, increase the popularity for the game again, because I feel like both have had their individual strengths, and you can't compare them. You really can't. You shouldn't, at least. Both deserve great respect and credit for their part in all of this. And I know this video is cringy, but it's how I feel. And it's how I've felt since the beginning. In some ways, this video is meant to be a love letter to the game and a love letter to the community. This game has aided in making me who I am today. For better or for worse. Sometimes I wonder what younger me would think of how I've turned out today. Would she be happy? Would she be sad? Would she be disappointed? Would she be proud? And in some ways I think she'd be disappointed and sad that I haven't done nearly as much as I'd hoped to. I haven't accomplished as much as maybe some other teenagers have. I'm not as smart, or I'm not as talented, or as kind. Maybe she was upset about that. And to her, to younger me, I'm sorry. I should have done you better. I should have been better to you. also think in some ways she'd be proud. She knows what I'm going through. If she knew all that I suffered with, all that I've gone through, all that I fought against, all that I fought for, I think in some ways she'd be proud too. And I think she'd also be proud that I'm not the same as what she'd hoped, because that person, though she would have been talented and happy and had everything that she wanted, she would have lacked depth. Maybe she wouldn't have been as good to other people or as understanding as she could have been from personal experience. But enough talking from me. I want to hear from you. What did you appreciate about Pixie Hollow in the community? What did you disagree with about this video? Maybe we'll strike a conversation, you know? Maybe it'll be an agreeable conversation, maybe it'll be a not so agreeable conversation, but I don't want any fights. I will keep things respectful. And I will especially keep things respectful. We keep things respectful. But anyway, thank you for listening. I'm really happy that I got a chance to talk today. This video was very tough, especially since it's one of my first videos for this channel. I have other channels, but for this channel specifically, it was quite nerve-wracking because it's kind of a very niche kind of game. It's very specific. Very, I don't know, it has to be a very specific person watching this in order to actually enjoy it. But if you enjoyed it, I am so happy you did. Let me know. But anyway, bye all. Thank you for watching.